What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to take a look at an article from Giant Freaking Robot. I tend to not cover this site much, same reasons, I guess, as for we got this covered, because generally, it's a one in however many, shots you got with this that they end up becoming right. One thing I will say is I generally have appreciated they've actually added like a category on their channel or on their website of all of the stories they've gotten right. I do actually appreciate that, and that does help. That's like a sign in the right direction. But to move off of that, this is obviously talking about the rumor or the story that they say is confirmed, like this is going to happen, a Jack Sparrow something from Disney, but without Johnny Depp. So it's very, very short in terms of what they say, and then, or I guess what's like the official thing, and they kind of just go on to talk about it. I really don't care about that stuff. Pretty much, literally, it's what I said. One of Giant Freaking Robots' trusted and proven inside sources, doesn't come across great, have shared that Disney is now developing a Jack Sparrow solo project. This project will not include Johnny Depp. And then they go on to just continue, all these websites really, they have to tell you what's happened over the past, 5 years. That has to take up a paragraph. Then they speculate for a paragraph, and then they ask you for what you think. I guess generally it's almost like a YouTube video, but just a lot more boring in my opinion. And, some of their speculation is like, well, if you did like a prequel, or maybe you do like an animated thing, maybe even like a what if for Marvel, maybe you did that for Pirates. And actually, I've talked about that before. I actually think that would be kind of cool in the idea of the Pirates universe. And we've talked about prequels before, like a Barbossa or like a Davy Jones. I think those are easy, not really necessarily simple, but like they're right there. They don't include Jack Sparrow, but they are in the Pirates world. They're popular characters. They're still in it, so you can still, like you can bank off of the name Pirates of the Caribbean. This would be, and I tweeted this, and people did exactly what I hoped they would do, which is good. Like, this would just be the stupidest. And I mean, Disney makes stupid decisions daily, right? But this would be like the dumbest thing humanly possible. I guess I do agree in a sense that animated people would maybe be more willing to accept that. You look at even like Sea of Thieves, and I really love the idea of doing, Pirates Life and Sea of Thieves, and that Jack Sparrow is obviously not Johnny Depp. That's a guy who actually does a really good job, and he's been Jack in like he was in Kingdom Hearts, I believe 3 and 2. He was that Jack Sparrow. The thing is, I would argue, like gaming wise, there's already a history of that. You know what I mean? So we have Sea of Thieves, you had Kingdom Hearts and all that stuff, and so you have the idea that like Johnny Depp doesn't do that stuff, and he wouldn't, or maybe he would. In fact, maybe you should give him a call. But if I guess if you just run around convincing yourself in your head like, okay, like they didn't ask him or he didn't want to do it or whatever, and so the versions that we see, it's just kind of the way it is. I've accepted, the Jack Sparrow in like Kingdom Hearts 3, I thought was great. The Sea of Thieves, I thought was great. Obviously that's not him. But the thing is, then when you cross over, I think, into the more Hollywood, movies or even television, I would argue, what I mean? That's where it gets a lot. Now, like a prequel Jack thing, obviously you wouldn't have him because he's younger. And I guess that's understandable. But here's the thing. Even if you did that or you did the animated, right? So if you did a prequel Jack Sparrow thing or you did an animated show, you as an audience, or like me or you, right? Like I could understand wanting to do that, and I think all of us would get, right, him not being a part of it. Unless, animated, you really could have him, but say it's like a prequel, right? Then we would understand it. But the thing is, as I've always said, I don't have a problem with the Margot Robbie thing. I don't have a problem with, remember back in the day, it was like Karen Gillan, right, for like a Pirate 6. I don't have a problem with those things. However, I do when you leave what you've done off on the note that you did. Like Pirates 5 should have, was going to lead into Pirates 6 and still should. Johnny Depp, what they've done to him with Jack Sparrow. So, like, I'm okay with expanding the franchise. I'm okay with all of that stuff. I'm okay with making a prequel Jack thing and not having Johnny Depp be anywhere in it. That's honestly fine. But the thing is, I don't think you can do any of that and expect people to be okay with it while you have the current. And that I think they're honestly just screwed in general. Same thing, as I've said with the Margot Robbie thing. I don't like the way she talks about it. I don't like the idea of having a female Pirates cast only just to do it, and there's never been strong female characters in Pirates. These people just don't ever watch the source material. So I think that's just actually, it's brain dead to even say things like that, right? So while I hate that stuff, and I think that the movie is going to probably be garbage because of it, I don't, I guess upon initial, announcement that this is happening, I don't have a problem with doing it, but it's like, you're clearly trying to make it her now, you're trying to move away, you know what I mean? So it always, sadly, maybe sadly, it always will connect back to him. It'll always connect back to Johnny Depp, and as long as that's in a horrible area, the rest of the stuff I flat out believe is going to fail. All of it. Maybe like a Barbosa thing or like a Davy Jones thing, I think would, or like a Will and Elizabeth, or, we've talked about this, even like a Henry and Karina. Like, I do think there's things you could do that are outside Jack Sparrow that may do relatively well, and maybe you could sell it to people and maybe they would be okay with it because it's so far removed from him that it's fine. I do think that exists, but I think what they want to do, like, that's the thing though. Those things are out there and you could do them. Someone like you or me could figure it out, but they, all they think about is, oh, well, we're going to try to connect it to Jack or Johnny Depp, but we can't use them, so we're going to have to do something else. And it's like, those are all destined. Those will all fail. It's just going to happen. So, go for it. Remember the rumor back over a year ago was that they have 10 Pirates of the Caribbean projects in the works in all. The Margot Robbie one is one, and then there's like 9. I think the Pirates 6 official, like in the canon, but not with Jack Sparrow, right? That's one of them. So that's 2 out of 10. You have 8 more, if that's true. And it's a guy who knows his stuff, so, maybe eventually it comes out. But where's the other 8? And what's the, what in God's name is the other 8? So, I don't care. Go ahead, give it a try. I want to talk about it. I will talk about all of them, and I will probably watch them in some way, when it happens. But I'm not giving them money, and I'm not going to be very, I'm not going to start off optimistic, that's for sure. And depending on what it is, I'll never get optimistic, or I'll never be, in support of it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all of these videos go up. If you want to follow me anywhere else, I have a Twitter. I have a second channel. I also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links are in the description below for all of those. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.